Beneath the streets of Rome, far below the traffic, cafes, and tourists, lies a hidden world of tunnels so vast that historians still debate how deep it truly goes. These passageways were not designed for tourists, and many of them remain sealed, forgotten, or deliberately ignored in official historical accounts. What if the Roman Empire built something far more complex beneath its capital than we were ever meant to know? Some tunnels were burial chambers, but others extend far beyond religious or ceremonial purposes. Entire vaulted chambers exist underground, engineered with precision that rivals the great structures built above the surface. And the question remains, why would Rome invest such extraordinary engineering effort into something buried completely out of sight? Some historians argue these tunnels were part of advanced water systems, hidden arteries that fed the empire's enormous population. But other sections appear to lead nowhere at all, abruptly ending or sealed as if someone wanted them forgotten. Could these underground corridors have served as escape routes during invasion or internal rebellion? Or were they part of a larger hidden strategy that historians still struggle to fully understand? In recent decades, controlled excavations beneath Rome have revealed tunnel systems that were never documented in official imperial records. These discoveries show carefully engineered brick arches and ventilation shafts that suggest deliberate planning rather than accidental construction. Yet no surviving Roman maps clearly describe the full extent of these underground corridors. Ground-penetrating radar has since revealed patterns beneath the city that form interconnected systems far larger than previously believed. Some chambers even contain markings and inscriptions that differ from typical Roman burial practices. Military historians suggest these passageways could have allowed troops to move unseen beneath the city during times of crisis. Even beneath iconic structures like the Colosseum, extensive underground systems were constructed with remarkable precision. Some tunnels connect directly to water control mechanisms, suggesting a hidden infrastructure for emergency resource management. But other corridors remain sealed behind heavy stone blocks that have not been opened in centuries. And the deeper researchers explore, the more it becomes clear that this network may extend far beyond what we currently understand. Despite mounting archaeological evidence, mainstream academic discussions rarely emphasize the scale of Rome's underground expansion. Most references to subterranean Rome describe isolated catacombs or drainage systems rather than an integrated strategic network. Catacombs were certainly extensive, yet many newly discovered tunnels do not follow known burial patterns. The construction techniques in some sections suggest military precision rather than religious or funerary design. This raises the possibility that certain tunnels were built as defensive contingencies during political instability. Rome's political history was filled with internal threats, coups, and rapid shifts in power. In times of civil unrest, secure underground passages could have provided unseen routes of escape or reinforcement. Yet, definitive written confirmation of such strategic use remains limited, and without clear records, many of these tunnels remain categorized simply as anomalies. But the architectural evidence beneath the city continues to challenge that simplified explanation. To understand Rome's underground system fully, we must compare it with other ancient civilizations that built beneath their cities. In Cappadocia, entire underground cities were carved from volcanic rock, designed to shelter thousands during invasion. Persian engineers built qanats, vast subterranean water channels that transported resources across impossible distances. Even Egypt concealed ritual chambers and passageways beneath monumental structures. Yet Rome's tunnels differ in one critical way: their structural consistency and deliberate integration beneath the capital. Where Cappadocia focused on refuge, Rome's passages appear narrower, linear, and strategically aligned. Some tunnels even intersected aqueduct systems, suggesting dual-use infrastructure beyond simple concealment. If designed for rapid troop movement, such tunnels would have allowed invisible military positioning within the city. Connections between political, military, and civic centers suggest deliberate planning rather than accidental excavation. and that realization transforms Rome's underground from scattered anomaly into coordinated architectural intent. In recent decades, modern archaeology has turned its attention beneath Rome using technology the ancients could never have imagined. Ground-penetrating radar now maps cavities, voids, and buried corridors invisible to the naked eye. Preliminary reconstructions suggest far more connectivity than traditional excavation ever revealed. In some cases, entirely unknown chambers have emerged from beneath collapsed sediment layers. Sealed doorways raise the most compelling questions about restricted access and intentional concealment. Some passageways align precisely beneath political and military centers of ancient Rome. Comparing ancient maps with modern scans revealed discrepancies historians once dismissed. Other tunnels remain inaccessible, submerged, or unstable, preserving secrets beyond present reach. Safety concerns limit exploration, suggesting that much of Rome's underground network remains uncharted. And the more technology uncovers, the clearer it becomes that Rome's underground is far from fully understood. Despite scattered discoveries, the broader implications of Rome's hidden tunnels rarely enter mainstream historical discussion in any sustained or public way. When references to underground passageways appear in ancient texts, they are often treated as minor logistical footnotes rather than structural systems of power. The surface story of Rome dominates textbooks, while the invisible architecture beneath remains secondary in interpretation. Modern reconstructions of Rome frequently prioritize monuments and roads, leaving subterranean systems absent from common educational models. Yet, if political power above relied upon hidden movement below, the historical narrative may be incomplete. Covert communication networks would have offered leaders strategic advantage during moments of instability or rebellion. In some areas, collapsed sections complicate excavation, discouraging full investigation. Inscriptions hint at restricted routes known only to specific officials or military officers. When new discoveries are layered over traditional city maps, patterns begin to emerge that challenge earlier assumptions. And the more we look beneath Rome, the clearer it becomes that silence does not mean absence. As excavations continue in scattered districts, certain patterns begin to repeat, suggesting deliberate design rather than random expansion beneath the city. Several tunnel segments align precisely with known administrative centers above, implying structural coordination tied directly to power and governance. Uniform measurements across distant sites indicate centralized engineering standards rather than improvised construction. Such corridors would have allowed secure movement of messages during unrest without exposing critical communications to public view. Some chambers appear configured for temporary storage, hinting at logistical planning beneath the visible marketplace. If guarded junctions existed below ground, they suggest controlled access points maintained under authority rather than abandoned structures. Above ground, politics unfolded publicly, yet movement below could have shaped outcomes unseen. Modern mapping technologies now allow archaeologists to trace connections that were invisible for centuries. When visualized together, these fragments reveal a surprisingly extensive subterranean web. And yet, despite growing evidence, the full scale of Rome's hidden infrastructure remains uncertain. While Rome's political elite debated power in public view, unseen infrastructure beneath them may have reinforced authority in ways never openly acknowledged. If these tunnels intersected major civic centers, their existence alone would represent an extraordinary tool for control during instability. Documents could be transferred discreetly, decisions enacted quickly, and rival factions monitored without public awareness. Architectural concealment suggests these were not merely drainage channels, but intentional hidden access routes. Some historians now question whether traditional narratives have underestimated Rome's reliance on subterranean systems. During riots or uprisings, such tunnels could have allowed safe movement of troops without escalating visible confrontation. Evidence of underground storage chambers strengthens arguments for strategic use rather than accidental discovery. Some passages appear deliberately sealed, suggesting decisions to conceal rather than preserve. Even today, experts disagree over whether these structures were defensive, administrative, or symbolic. What remains undeniable is that Rome's underground holds more complexity than most textbooks acknowledge. When archaeologists compare Rome's tunnels to other ancient cities, surprising architectural similarities begin to emerge across different civilizations. Similar vaulting techniques and corridor dimensions suggest shared engineering knowledge or parallel strategic evolution. Some researchers now track subterranean architecture across regions, identifying patterns that were previously overlooked. While aqueducts are well documented, adjacent passages branching away from water channels remain less understood. Military historians argued that such corridors could transform urban defense strategy entirely. When viewed as a network rather than isolated shafts, the design appears deliberate and coordinated. Precision stonework indicates advanced planning rather than emergency excavation during crisis. New scanning technologies now allow researchers to visualize entire subterranean grids without invasive excavation. Public exhibitions increasingly highlight how underground architecture shaped ancient urban life. Yet many sections remain inaccessible, sealed by collapse or modern construction. Modern Rome moves above a silent architecture that few citizens ever consider beneath their daily footsteps. Layer upon layer of history compresses the past into confined darkness below the city's surface. In those markings, researchers find evidence of organization, numbering systems, and coordinated planning. Strategists likely viewed these tunnels not as escape routes, but as controlled pathways for advantage. Such exits could allow surprise maneuvers that altered the outcome of conflict entirely. Time has buried much of this network, leaving fragmented clues instead of complete blueprints. New technology may eventually reveal the full extent of Rome's subterranean architecture. In silence, these tunnels continue to exist, unchanged by centuries of transformation above them. The visible city tells one story, while the invisible city beneath tells another. Perhaps the most revealing part of Rome is not what stands tall, but what was deliberately built below. If you enjoy real history that feels unreal, subscribe and like the video so you don't miss the next story.